Well, hello. This is Maureen and Duncan Walker. Just wishing you all a hello and aloha. We've been back from Maui for just about 3 weeks now. And we were hoping to connect with everyone at church, but because of this virus, we haven't been able to see too many people. But this is a nice opportunity for us to say hello and give our best wishes. We had a great time in Maui, didn't we, hon? Serving the Lord there. And I will say that we were enjoying the nice Maui weather. And yes, we enjoyed some of the beaches and took part in, many of the other things that are to do, you do in Hawaii. Checking out all the turtles and going for lovely walks along the beach and things like that. But I think first and foremost, the reason we were there is because we were serving the Lord, and because Haggai International is a ministry that is, how should I put it, very important to us and huge in our desire to serve. Their mandate is worldwide. Haggai International brings people from all over the globe, from the developing countries to the center, and equips them to evangelize in their own countries, to their own people. So now, having said that, it's not just everyone. These people are doctors and lawyers, and they have to be proven leaders in their own countries and their own professions before they can actually get invited to come to and participate in the workshops. But for us, it was, when we started 5 years ago, it was a life-changing, eye-opening experience. Wouldn't you say, Dunk? Pretty much life-changing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
completely.
To go and spend time, sit elbow to elbow around the dinner table with people from all over the world, and people that we wouldn't normally sit with, or associate too much with. There was doctors, but surgeons and judges and a lot of high-ranking people in their own land, and a lot of business people as well. But the caliber of the people there is impressive. They come there to get equipped, to find ways, to learn ways of reaching the lost in their own countries. And most of these people come from countries where Muslims are the majority. And so, many of them come with trepidation. They are persecuted in their own land. They are fearful for their life in a lot of cases. But they are also very excited and on fire for the Lord. And so that's why they are at Haggai in the first place, is to grow that excitement so that they can take what they learn home and spread the word. And the word is spreading. We in the Western world don't hear too much about what's going on in these other countries. We hear all the bad things. We hear about the murders and the setting the churches on fire and things like that. But you talk to these people, and yes, those things are happening, but there are also millions of people coming to know the Lord. And you don't hear that, especially from countries that are Muslims, because the Muslims are turning to God just like fire, hundreds and thousands of them. And you don't hear that because they can't let their faith be known. Otherwise, they could be killed. So we hear those stories, and it's good news. Yes, there's a lot of bad news going on around the world, but I just want to encourage everyone to, I guess, take what you hear on the news, um, not lightly, but look at it behind the scenes and look to some of the other things besides the mainstream news. Cass, wouldn't you say, hon? I mean, we heard so many people talk about their experiences and whole villages coming to know Christ. Not we don't hear that here because we're too worldly and we have too much. But you take small villages in Africa where the whole village has come. So anyway, I don't know. What do you think, Duncan? I've been talking a lot, but I'm going to let Duncan say a few things. Anyway, it's really good to be home, and we do love Haggai.
So, Haggai International has a lot more than just what we do in Hawaii. They have other places all across the world that they teach. Plus, they used to go into China, not a lot anymore, but they will be working in there. In Muslim worlds, in Syria and Iraq and that, they go down to Cyprus usually and have their schools there because they can't get visas to come into Canada or United States. They're all highly educated. They're great people. They're hardworking, and they have a very dangerous. There's a good proportion of them that have a very, very dangerous job evangelizing in their countries, and it's quite interesting listening to their work. Now, what we do there, we do the garden work. The guys do the garden work or the cleaning. They do some cleaning, other work too. We have one guy works on computers when he comes, so stuff like that. And we work out in the yard. Steve was a great asset to them. He did a lot of the outside work and stuff that a lot of people couldn't do. And the women, they work hard. They work very hard. They work harder than us. They do all the laundry and...
Don't tell people how hard we work because we want people to go.
Yeah. But right now, it's not shut down, the hotel that they own a hotel there.
The building that we stay in, Haggai International, is called the Mid-Pacific Center, and it was a hotel at one time, so
yeah.
it's a fabulous place.
They, the women do all the cleaning of the rooms and hallways, the men do, but women do all the cleaning of the room, the laundry, and everything that takes up, so it takes quite a bit of time. We start our days in devotion, doing a half-hour devotion, and work. We get lunch off, and we work till about 3:30 in the afternoon. Then we get time off if we're not on duty doing something else. So it's actually very good. Keep really active. When there isn't a session, we have to pay for our food, but Costco really helps because they're cheap. Yeah, you don't get. There are places there that have $100 hamburgers, which is pretty high up. But if you watch where you go and eat, it's fairly cheap. It's not too bad at all. So it is a good thing to do. But we got right now we have a couple people stuck there. They can't get home. There's nobody coming, of course, now for 2 months for sure. Could be more.
The sessions have been canceled because of COVID-19.
Yeah, so and it's actually probably very hard for us to get there too, or come back. So there are probably about 8 or 10
There was
Canadians
actually,
that are
yes,
stuck
still,
there, so to speak, till
but they're still working. So
they're still working. But they volunteered to do that. If we would have been in that position to be able to do that, we would have.
I think that what we want to just really touch on and leave you with today is if you have a heart for doing anything here or whatever, and it doesn't matter where you go. And people, I know they used to laugh at us, or giggle. Oh yeah, you're going to volunteer or serve in Maui, ha ha, for the winter. But you are serving God. You're a very small cog in a great big wheel, and that's serving the Lord. Anytime you can help someone else, bring someone to the Lord, don't you think, Duncan? I mean, we hear stories from the past participants, and even from the ones that are there, and it's amazing. It's just, you know, if we could do even half of what they do in their own countries, if we could do that here, if we could evangelize the same way that they do here, I think that we would see a lot more people turning to God, turning to Christ, and accepting the Lord, and changing lives. But
I think with this virus, there's a lot more about Christianity coming up. I know in my Facebook I have a lot of bikers and people that are not Christians, and they're all talking about God. So there is a huge area that we can be evangelizing now. I think it's pretty important.
I think there's a lot more, and I know I've personally been touched and convicted by being at Haggai, that I certainly don't do enough, and I need to do more, and I think that we could all of us, do more than we do to spread the gospel, spread the word. So yeah. Anyway, it's great to be back. Don't you think, Duncan? We're climatized now. We're back to regular.
Yeah, she's climatized.
Our tans are, well, no, Duncan doesn't get climatized till it's the middle of winter or summer and it's 100 degrees. But anyway, it's great, and thanks for letting us share. It's I'm looking forward to seeing everybody and touching bases as soon as this COVID is over and we're free to come and go. Anyway, bless you all.
Yeah, and we have any questions or anything you want to know about, we're easy to talk to.
Well, one of us is. Anyway.
But, yeah, no, we'll certainly accommodate you. And there is videos on, if you do want to volunteer, there are videos there telling you other stories. We don't do any preaching there. We're not there to teach anybody. They've got their own teachers.
We're there to learn, and we do. We learn tremendously from each other, and just from being there and listening to the participants. And when you live elbow to elbow and day to day, and with a whole building full of Christians, it's really hard to not come away changed and learning things. So it's pretty special. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks. God bless. We'll see you all soon.